All right, everyone, welcome in. We are back for part three, the final part of three of Maria. And thank you so much, Maria, for joining us. You've been a wonderful gift in showing us how you think through automations and pipelines and kind of giving us a big strategy view for how to use them. And so before we jump into the final part, let's do a couple housekeeping things. And let's see here. All right. We got a blank screen. Great. Wait, that's not right. Hold on a second. Oh, I must have the wrong slides up. Oh no. Nope. I just didn't start at the beginning. Okay, here we go. All right. What do you want to see in the deep dives? That's what I want to ask. Put it in the chat. What do you want to see in our deep dive conversations that we have? All right. Our mission at TheraSaaS is to simplify marketing and sales for practice owners so they can close more client leads and grow a powerful brand. And I'll be speaking at the Group Practice Scaling Summit here in Chicago in May. If you want, just look up Practice Scaling Summit. I'm going to be talking about brand building and why that's important. And brand building is going to be absolutely key in the years to come for your practice, more so than ever. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live webinar on a hiring funnel. So how to build out, using TheraSaaS, how to build out a funnel to attract your ideal client. And I got some pretty cool resources that we're sharing. I've developed these with my marketing clients over the years, and it's pretty cool. So if you can't make it, just sign up for it. You'll get a replay, but it's also going to be on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do so. Go to YouTube and just type in TheraSaaS and look for it. Look, Maria, you're up there a few times already.
Yeah.
All right, a couple attendee questions here I wanted to get to since you guys filled out the questionnaire on the registration form. Susan asked, I'm tech challenged and these automated systems can be rough to figure out. I'm also not really building a robust email list. Okay, so this is not a question, but hopefully this webinar will help you with the automated systems. And if you get stuck, just reach out to our support team inside TheraSaaS. We can help you build out an automated system. And by the way, as it relates to email list, you're already building an email list inside TheraSaaS because you have that consent form or that little box that says, can we text message and email you? If they say yes to that, and they have to submit the form, it's required, you are building your email list automatically. And so you can send an email to them. I do have, if I remember, I do have a webinar, and I'll be doing one for TheraSaaS on how to build an email list too. If you want to use like lead magnets. Another Susan asked, how do I get better monthly statistics on our leads? I have smart lists I run, and then I add it to a spreadsheet. I'm hoping there's a better way. There might be. It just depends on what statistics you are looking to get on your leads. TheraSaaS is continuing to have better dashboards to build them out, and I have someone on my team building out some dashboards and templates that we should be able to show you here in the coming weeks. But reach out to our support team. All you have to do is just go to the submit support ticket on the left menu side and ask some questions, and we'd love to get back to you and help you out. Last question. How do I ethically set up funnels and pipelines for therapy private practices? This is Salisha asking this. And I'm not sure what you mean by ethically, other than, don't lie about what you do for how you're marketing your services. But if you're joining us live, Salisha, please put it in the chat and we would love to answer that. Okay. Those are some of the questions. Thank you for submitting them. And now I'm going to turn it over to Maria. Our goal is to be done a few minutes early. And so we are going to jump to it. Let me remove that and I'll add this.
Yeah. If I run too long, please nudge me so I can.
I'll be the timekeeper. And we're diving deep on one automation today, right? Is that the plan? Okay, great.
Yeah. So I'm going to just pick up where we left off. If we haven't seen our other workshops, webinars, I don't know, I call it workshops every time. Sure. You can just go to the YouTube channel of TheraSaaS and watch it there. But for today, On the last one, we did started with a simple workflow to do an automation about the intake no shows, those leads that schedule an intake and then for any reason don't show up and don't let us know in advance. So we have a simple automation to kind of re-engage them. And now I'm going to go into a more something that I call a more complex one because it has like a lot of moving parts, and hopefully I can like speed it up, but in a way that you can all understand and get through everything. But if you have any questions along while I'm like talking, you can just interrupt me and put your question here on the chat, and Brent will let me know.
I will.
Okay, so let's do it. Just a bit about me, if anyone is here for the first time. So I started as a psychologist, and now I work in digital marketing. Um, I started out basically with content writing, ghost writing blogs, and now I do everything and work with a lot of therapists and practices. And I put these worlds together, basically mental health and marketing, and I'm just like trying to help therapists to reach out to their clients and um, improve their online presence. So if you have any questions regarding not only TheraSaaS and automations and pipelines, I do a lot of things, so you can check out my website and let me know.
Right. And I'll just put a plug that you've been helping TheraSaaS subscribers build out complicated automations and pipelines. So you do a really good job doing that, which is why I asked you to come on and do a webinar series with me. So reach out to Maria if you have any questions.
Yeah, for sure. And which can, I feel that it can be a lot of overwhelming to like starting to do the automations and understand the platform. I understand that, but on the plus side, for me, it's fun.
Yeah,
So
your brain works way different than a lot of our brains. So
yeah, that I was talking to Brent earlier that I'm a bit of a nerd in this stuff, so I can definitely help you out. So this is our basic glossary for the this whole automation and workflows um, things that we're going to cover, and we're basically going into workflows and triggers and our pipeline today. So this automation is basically related to the pipeline that we have for the leads that contact us, that are interested in our services, and reach out through our website forms that are connected to TheraSaaS through our phones or through our emails, and we add them to our pipeline. And the goal of this pipeline is basically to get them to schedule that first appointment. So that is what we are going to see today. This is our pipeline. Basically, this has these different stages that follow all the different steps that we have to basically do to get our leads to convert to being our clients and schedule that first appointment. And today we're going to deep dive on this, this is a workflow. So this workflow will happen when we move our opportunity or our lead to one particular stage, and the action of moving that opportunity to a column will trigger, that will set in motion this series of events that correspond to this workflow, this automated workflow. So if you have any questions regarding that, please share them on the comments. But let's just move along to what we are doing here. So this is basically the workflow we're going to look into today. And as I said, this is in one of the stages that we have on our lead pipeline. And this in particular is for our leads that are looking for couples therapy. So we have in this case study that I've been breaking down through this series of webinars, we've been following this case study that is a practice that has these two formats. They have individual therapy and couples therapy. So one of the things that we wanted to make sure is that both partners were engaged from the get-go. So we wanted them to both receive the information about their first appointment, and also because both partners need to fill their intake forms. So it was important to keep the communication going between both of them. So, and also as we had different templates in terms of the emails that we are going to send them automatically, we wanted to make sure that if they are in couples therapy, they're going to receive the corresponding email and not the one for individual. And also we have virtual and in person. So it's important for us to basically break down all the different communications, the emails, the text messages that we want to trigger automatically, and make sure we have these automations built for the context to receive the correct information at all times. So what we needed to make sure this automation would allow us to do, it was to send the corresponding welcome email based on the session format, virtual or in person. So this welcome email is that email that we have with the first appointment details. So who is the assigned therapist, the date and hour for the appointment, and the location. If it is virtual, then it will have a link. If it is in person, it will have maybe the office location, or if it has parking nearby. So important information that will help the client prepare for their first appointment. And also send an email to the partner uh, because this is couples therapy. Pull specific information from the contact to fill the email templates, such as the session date, time, and assigned therapist or clinician. So we want to make sure that the templates will pull the specific information for that specific client. Notify the assigned therapist with relevant client and session details. We don't just want the clients to know this information. We wanted also at the same time for the therapist to be notified that they will have a first appointment with a new client or a new couple in this case. And lastly, we wanted to make a time period to notify the internal team that 3 days before the first appointment to check the EHR and see if the intake forms are filled up. So basically, those were our priorities in terms of this specific workflow. So now let's go into TheraSaaS and see how we make this happen, basically.
All right.
So this is our pipeline. We have all the different stages we built for these leads, the leads funnel. And when we have this one, that is a first appointment schedule, that is basically the one that is going to trigger this workflow. So the first thing I'm going to show you here in automation And then I have it here in this folder because I'm kind of a neat freak with organization.
Well, it's very important. Yeah, if you organize your automations with using folders so it's clear and easy to get to.
Yeah, I like to give it all different names and folders so I can just go in and search and they will pop up really quickly. So this is our final result, is how it will look at the end. So don't need to be scared right now. I'm just going to show it all step by step. But the first thing that we need to do, and that's why I'm showing this final result, is to figure out the points of communication. So there are different points along this workflow that we will need to create templates to communicate, whether with the client, with the partner, and also with the therapist and the internal team. So we have to pinpoint all those points of communication and create templates that then we can just pull from the templates and fill with those custom fields. So, for example, here on the email to client, we have a template here, and you can first write all your templates and then you can go here to the marketing and just, I usually do it on the snippets, but you can also do it here on the templates. I just do it here because then you can pull these snippets if you're having a conversation, and you can just use this template as well on the live conversation you're having with a client. So um, in here you can just add whether it's a text snippet or an email, and you can start by writing all your emails and texts that you're going to need to that specific workflow. And once you have it all written down, you can just go
Can you
to the
show the one
automation.
that you're going to be using, or you're going to show it in the
Yeah,
automation?
I can show it when I'm going to create it, and I'm going to pick it up there.
Got it.
Okay. So let's start with a create workflow, and I'm going to select the create from scratch. You can select a recipe if you want. I usually just created them from
Yeah, I
scratch.
think it's easier just to do it from scratch.
Okay, so the first thing I do is to name them because you don't want it to have that sequence number thing. So you can name it something. First session scheduled, and then you can put like couples, something just for you to know where it is easily. And then let's start with the trigger. So what is going to set up this automation, this workflow? What is the action that needs to happen so the contact enters this sequence of actions and enters our automation? So in this case, as we're working within this pipeline, what is going to be our trigger is basically when we move the opportunity to that particular column or stage on our pipeline. So we're going to have this pipeline stage changed. So here we have to make sure that this will only trigger this workflow if it is in that specific pipeline and in that specific stage. So we don't have like contacts entering this automation if it's not supposed to. So in here on filters, you have to make sure you select in pipeline, and then you're going to select, in this case, this one. You have to pick the right one for you, and then the stage is going to be, in this case, first appointment schedule.
There you go.
So then you can like give it a name here if you want, so it stays organized. Okay, and you have it. You can just save it. And then for the next level of this automation, we want to create a condition, because we have different templates in the situation for the couples that go for virtual therapy and ones that go for in-person therapy. So we want to make sure here we have a branch that will separate them for the format of the therapy that they have chosen. So here we'll look for a condition. It was what if
It's if,
the
yeah, it's if then, or if
if
it
then.
turns if.
I never remember
Else,
this
sorry,
one.
yeah,
If
if else.
else, yeah. You can always search for, like, go through them all and see which one it is, but for me it's easy to just search specifically for it. So for this condition, we want to create these two branches that correspond to the two formats of therapy that we have. In this, we'll go to the opportunities, and this was a custom field that we've created for this specific reason. So this custom field was created for the location of the appointment, and we want to have the location is virtual. I'm going to name the branch the same thing as well. And you want to also, we can just, it's easier if there's like similar branches.
Yeah.
You can just duplicate this and you have this one.
Is this
And
a custom, is this an opportunity field, or is this a
it's a
custom
custom, yeah, it's a custom field that we have
under
created
contact or under opportunity?
under opportunity, yes. I can show that real quickly. So to the couples therapy, basically we just created this tab on the opportunity. So when you go here to the opportunity, you can see that there's a specific tab for couples therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a specific tab for first appointment details. This goes for everyone, individual or couples.
And then
So
this is created, well, the intake coordinator will have to input this information based on what they're putting inside the EHR.
yeah, based on the call. Normally, in this particular case of this client, they have this call to contact this first contact to get to know the lead and match them with the therapist. So they will do this screening call, and as they are talking to the client, to the lead, they will fill up this information on TheraSaaS
Got it.
based on that information. So that is the fields that we've created specifically for this workflow. The assigned clinician, that we can just, it's a drop down that we can just pick and choose the name for the clinician that is going to be matched to this lead,
Mm-hmm.
the location, if it is virtual or in person, the date for the first appointment, the time, and if there's any notes to the clinician that we want to pass along for them to know that
And they can get to this information if you click on the add and manage fields on the bottom
yeah,
left, that takes you to the custom field section. And I think it's important for, just as a reminder, there's
yeah,
really like two types of custom fields. One's that's going to be associated with the contact, and then another one that's going to be associated with the opportunity card that's in that visual pipeline. And what
yes,
Maria is showing you are custom fields for the opportunity.
yeah,
So you created a folder inside the custom fields, which you can find under settings and custom fields there on the left-hand side.
yeah.
And
So you can just go here to settings and
mhm,
custom fields. I usually, because it's easier for me to see things in folders, I go to the folder tab here, and then I just select on this drop down the opportunity,
mhm.
and the same way you were seeing all the tabs inside the opportunity card, you can see the different tabs here. So you can even like change
Yeah,
the
however they're ordered here is how they'll be ordered
yeah,
on the opportunity card. And just to kind of show them real quick, if you click on the add field, Maria, for me real quick,
yeah,
and just select one of them, that's whatever, single line, and then hit next. You can, that object, you see, that's where you would place it under opportunity there. If you want it to show up in the opportunity card, that's where that will show up.
Mhm. And for it to appear on a specific folder
Yes.
or tab, you can like choose the tab if you want to create a specific one for child, or even if you want to create a new folder, you can go here and add a new folder on the opportunity, and you just will have it here, and then you can, oops,
Yep.
you can drag it to wherever you want, like here.
Yeah. So
So
so once you go back to the opportunity card now, and you can show that they can see where that test has showed up then.
yeah, so if you go here and click this my test opportunity, the test folder does it's empty right now, but we could have
You
new
could
custom
mhm.
fields.
And just so everyone watching live and also on the replay, like this is fairly advanced things. Most people don't have or need. You may not need to have these opportunity fields show up here, but these are for very specific purposes for automations that Maria and her client were working on. I thought were pretty cool to see. So this is kind of give you some ideas as well. So all right, Maria, I'll stop interrupting you. You can go ahead, keep going.
It's okay. It was a good interruption. So if we go back here, now we know where this is coming from. We have the location that it was filled by our intake team, but we can also pull this information for a form, for example. If you have an intake form that your new clients are or your new leads are filling up in preparation for their first appointment, you can just create these specific custom fields that will be added to that form, and then we can have this automation pulling from those forms information. So there's always different ways you can do something.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out what makes more sense to you. So in this case, this is the different branches. So we could add more branches if we wanted to. In this case, we just have these two different situations. So we can just delete this one and we will save it. And now we want to make sure we have the different clients will receive their corresponding template based on that information. So now we can add the email templates here. But first, I usually like to give it a bit of a wait time just in case something goes wrong. If the internal team is like moving the opportunity card along the pipeline, and sometimes they might realize that they forgot to fill a custom field that is needed for the automation. Sometimes I like to give it like a 5 minute window just for them to be able to go there and fix it in case they're missing anything. So I put this 5 minute. We can also put it here for us to remember what it is. So a 5 minute window for any mistakes. And then we can just pull from the email that we are going to send. So send email. We'll just keep this all blank because TheraSaaS is going to fill this information with the information that we have on our accounts. So the from name and the from email. And we can just select the template for it's the welcome email. So in this case, we have different ones. So Here, the one that we want is the virtual, and it's the welcome email couples intake. So it's this one.
Go ahead
So
and click on it. Yeah, so you can show them what it looks like.
here is our template. Let me zoom in a bit because my screen is huge. So here we have the email template for the lead. It's the normally the partner that has reached out, has made that first contact, and we will send them an email with their name. So this is going to pull from the name we have on the opportunity, on in this case on the contact, and we're going to let them know everything that they need to prepare for their first appointment. So this opportunity date is going to match that custom field that I have shown you before. It has the opportunity, so basically it's going to match this here. So this date is going to pull from this, and then it's going to pull from the therapist name that we selected on that drop down menu, and it's going to pull from the location. In this case, it's going to say virtual, and then it's going to say some specific information regarding the virtual consultation appointment, and is going to let them know in preparation for the appointment that they will need to fill their intake forms. So this is all for the virtual case. So now we have to do a similar one. No, I think it's too big. So now we can continue to create this one until the end, and then we can go here and copy all actions and just paste it here for the in person and change what we need to change. So maybe I'm going to just do that. So let's keep on the virtual. So now we have the email for the client. Let me just give it a specific name so we have things organized. And now we have the email for the client, and we want to add an email that also goes to the partner. So we got the name of the partner here on these custom fields we've created for couples therapy. So our internal team has filled up this information with the partner's name and the partner's email, because that's what we are going to need to set up that email to the partner. So we can have it like this. We can have your internal team to fill them up, or you can have it on a form. For example, you can send the lead a form with all this information, and they will fill up these custom fields as well, and we can pull them this information for the workflow as well. So here we'll send in this case, it's not an email, it's an internal notification. Yeah, because in this case, the workflow only sends email to the clients, and we want to
the contact.
To the contacts that we already have. And in this case, we wanted to send an email to
Yeah, and this is a really great workaround that you did, that you found out to accomplish this.
Yeah, so this is basically
it's still an email.
It's an email because it's an internal notification, and we are selecting that it's an email, but it's basically a cheat sheet that will allow us to send an email to a specific custom field. In this case, we are going to say that we want this to go to a custom email, and is asking us to say which email do we want to send this to. And as you know, the emails are always going to be different, so we want to make sure that it goes to the partner. So here we have this icon that is going to pull from the fields that we have, all the ones that were already default on TheraSaaS and the custom ones that we created. So we'll go here to the opportunity, and under custom fields, we'll put partner's email. So this will make sure that this email is no longer an internal notification. It's an email to the partner.
Mm-hmm.
So we can keep blank as well. It's going to be filled up. And here on the templates, we will just search for the virtual one that we have for the partner. And the thing that you see that is different here is that under the name, it's going to pull from that opportunity field that we've created. That custom field is going to pull from the opportunity partner's name, that is the one that we have here, and it's going to send them to the email that we had here as well. And the other information is more or less the same. So it's going to say the date, the clinician, and the location, and all the information that they need to know. So
And the reason you're doing this is because the EHR of your client doesn't already do this, right?
Yeah,
So there isn't any, and so you had to create something outside of the EHR to be able to make this happen.
yeah. Also, we wanted to have every thing that is connected to the leads pipeline on TheraSaaS, because it just makes the job of the internal team easier for them to just move the leads along the pipeline and know that that will set all the automation that they need. But yeah, the main priority was to have these automations that weren't able to happen on the EHR.
Mm-hmm. Kelly wanted to know, is like, can this be used for parents and kids as well? And I would say yes. You just need to figure out how to determine who the main contact, is it the child or is it the parent? And sometimes it's the parent because they're the one paying for it. But inside the EHR, it might be the child, being the actual client. So you just want to make sure that that's really clear as far as on the TheraSaaS side, like how you are going to, because most likely the parent's going to be the one submitting the form, and they're going to be the main contact.
Yeah.
So you could probably then have, what you could do is you could be an custom opportunity, or it could just be part of the custom field where if it is a child, there's a conditional formatting on the form that's pop down says, okay, give us the name of the child, and that can be associated with the contact. Then it wouldn't necessarily have to be an opportunity field if you don't want it to, but you could do it. Go ahead, Maria. What do you think?
I think it depends on the kind of communications and information that goes out to the kid, assuming as Kelly is saying, that they have an email. It depends on, I think, probably the age too. If you want to keep them in the loop about the sessions and give them that responsibility. But yeah, there's a way to do it similar to the way that we're doing for the partners and the couples. We can have this tab here on the opportunity as well for child therapy or for teen therapy, and have all the custom fields that we want about them. But I think, yeah, it depends on what you want them to receive in regard of their sessions.
Yeah, good question. Let's keep going. We got about 15 minutes left.
Yeah, let's do it. I will rush. Okay, so we have the email to the partner that started as an internal notification, but now is going to this custom field that we've created. We have the template, so we just have to save it now. Okay, so our client and partner are informed, and now we want an internal notification to go to our internal team that is basically letting them know that this email was sent to the partner and now they need to update their contact information. Because what happens in TheraSaaS is once you have this first contact with an email or a phone, an automatically contact will be added to your database. So you just need to let our internal team know that the client was contacted, and they can add information about them in TheraSaaS if they want to. So in this case, we're going to send it is going to be an internal notification that is going to be called update partners info. And we'll just say something like here on the subject, and we would just say something like hi, and then we can pull from the custom fields that we've created. So we would just go here and partner's name. Just something simple. That's not how I have it, but just for you to know that you can do it.
This is going to go to who again?
Sorry?
You're going to send this email to who? Who's this email going to?
Oh, this is for the internal team to know that they can add more details to this contact that was automatically created on TheraSaaS.
Got it.
So let's save this one as well. Oh, we have to select who is going to receive.
Yeah, it's either a user or you can use a custom email,
Yeah. So usually I just put it to the assigned user, but if you have a specific person on the team that is responsible for this, you can just put particular user and then select the particular user. Okay. So now let's do the fun part. Okay. So we have this date that this is a first appointment date that we set up on our custom fields on our opportunity. So the date is here. We've created as a date, so you can pick it on the calendar. And now we want to make sure that 3 days before that date, that our internal team will check if the intake forms are filled up on the EHR. So what we wanted to do now is to go here and event and choose the set event start date that will basically hold this date that we've created, this opportunity date, with just saying to this platform that we want something to happen in regards to this date that we've created. So we will save it here. And then we will go for the wait. So there's a lot of things, a lot of fun things that we can do for the wait with this wait option. We can do a time delay for minutes, hours, days. You can even select if you want people to this wait like to the what hours, what days, the window that we want to this trigger to continue to advance. So if we want our contacts just to receive information within business days hours. So in this case, as we have this event date, this first appointment date, what we are going to do is to say that we want to wait 3 days in regard of that event. So, and we can do it even for months. I actually have this for months to set up our surveys, our client satisfaction service. That's something that we can do as well. From like 3 months to 3 months or 6 months to 6 months, like sending our clients these surveys that we want them to fill. And we can do it with this as well, these loops, create loops of wait periods inside TheraSaaS. But in this case, we don't want to wait 5 months. We want to wait 3 days in regard to the event appointment time that we set. And we can just save it. I'm going to put 3 days. Okay. And then after these 3 days, in this case, before the 3 days of the appointment, we want to send another internal notification to our team that is going to say to them that they need to check their intake forms. So we would say something.
Check if they filled out their intake forms.
Yeah. So we would select the user. It can be the assigned user or a particular person. On the subject, you can put something like reminder. Oh wait, I already have this. Cool.
Yeah.
Check intake forms, couples, and then you can create a template for these as well. For the internal notifications, I usually just write them in here. So I would say hi, and then I would put the custom values for the contact and the
Are you looking for the contact? Scroll
yeah.
up to the top. There, it's cut off. It should be at the very.
It's because of my screen. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. So you would say something like this person and the person that is the partner. So we have to go to the opportunity and to the custom fields and go to partner's email. This person and this person is first session is going to be, I'm not going to write the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be in 3 days. So you can check intake forms. And I usually put some note to let them know what they have to do in regards of the next stages on the pipeline, just to give them that context to make sure that they understand everything that they need to do. So we would just save this one. And now for the in-person, we would just go here, copy the whole thing, paste it here. And now we just need to change the template. So here we had the virtual. So now we have to select the in-person. So always check if it is the right one. I'm not going to do that now, but always make sure it's the right one. And then for the partner, we had the virtual, so we have to go and get the in-person for the partner as well. So, and that's it. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, don't forget to hit save and publish.
Yeah. And please don't forget to test it all before going live, because it's very important to test your automations.
Now, a couple cool things if you wanted to see that, since we have like just a few minutes left. So if you go show them underneath enrollment history, you can see who's gone through the actual automation.
Yeah, in this case, no
one. No one's yet. Yeah. And then if you go to execution logs, you can see each step that they went through. And there's an icon that will actually, if you click on it, it will show you the path which that person went through.
Probably one that here. Yeah.
One enrolled. The first one there.
Yeah. I tested it.
There you go. And if you click on that little squiggly line on the far right, you can see the execution path. So click on that, and it will show you how they went through the actual automation, which is pretty cool. So if you see anything, if anything breaks, it'll at least show you where it might have broken. So that's a cool feature too.
This is cool for you guys to see if everything is working as it was supposed to work. And also, I didn't say this in terms of conditions, but if for any reason we have a contact where this information wasn't filled in the information that is branching out, so the location. If we had a contact that they hadn't filled up this information, then the contact would just go to none, because none of the conditions were met. So
Okay.
in this case, they will just go through here.
Got it. Got it. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for jumping in and showing this. Things I learned from you on this was that internal notification hack, that little cheat that you have that you could then send an email address to the, according to the opportunity custom fielder. That was really cool. But yeah, that's, some EHRs do some of this work for you, and there's a lot of EHRs that don't. And so TheraSaaS can kind of be like that stopgap in between, to help streamline some of this work. So yeah, this is great. Thank you so much. And can you throw up your website so people know how to get in touch with you? And
Yeah, for sure.
please do.
Yeah.
SciWriter.
So you can just go here and you can contact me, or you can even schedule a call. I do this 20-minute consultation, and we can just help you figure out the automations, what you want to do if you're having any troubles, and I can help you think through them and helping you figure it out.
Yeah, wonderful. And thank you everyone for joining. And if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, like the video. And tomorrow I will be seeing some of you on the hiring funnel deep dive webinar. So we'll see you then. And thank you so much, Maria. This was a real joy to have you for three of the deep dives. So we learned a lot from you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Brent.
All right, everyone. We'll see you in the next webinar.